Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all tickety-boo. Here we are. The final stream before we launch Wrath of the Ancients. It's gonna be here soon. Very, very soon. A couple of minutes just to make sure everything's running, everything's tickety-boo, and then we'll be live. Don't go nowhere. Grab a drink. Parky bomb. Back in a mo.
Human settlements face attack by unknown forces.
This is the tip of the iceberg.
Someone needs to get to the bottom of it.
You may travel with us and access our secret places. This universe is merely their dream. One day, all this will disappear when they're waking.
Human? Helping us?
No more. I won't let anyone start another war.
Your tongues may mislead us. Or perhaps you mislead yourselves. Lift up to the light the grains of sand that formed you.
May the peace of the ancients be upon us all, at last.
Get to an escape pod! The portal is closing. Brethren, flee while you may.
My God. A terrible miracle.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. How are you all? Oh, look, we've got Michael and we've got Lee with us. Oh, it's all getting busy, busy, busy. Anybody excited? Anybody looking forward to something happening on Monday? Oh, so close. You can smell it. So close. But anyway, welcome along. Thank you very much for joining us. Here we are, the penultimate, or the ultimate stream before we launch Wrath of the Ancients on Monday. Super excited. Ingmar's in as well. Oh, we've got the whole crew here. Look, we're going to have a rockfish party. Ain't nothing like a rockfish party. They're all coming to check I'm talking, you know, they're saying the right things. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure. But yes, we are 3 days away from Wrath of the Ancients. The new DLC coming to all platforms. I know there was a little question there just in the chat asking if it's going to be coming on to PlayStation. Yes, it is. So it's going to be on PC, Mac, PlayStation, and Xbox. For your delectation come Monday. So, yeah. So what we're going to be doing today? Well, we're going to be doing our usual fly-through with the god-awful striker here that Lee picked the colour for. We'll excuse the RNG, so blame him for the colour. We'll carry on with that for a little bit, and then we're going to do a complete kind of recap, or as much of a recap of everything that we can reveal with regards Wrath of the Ancients. So we're going to recap a lot of what we showed last week. I'm sure some of you weren't here. Maybe you didn't watch it. You might have some more questions. And as always, if you do have those questions, throw them into the chat because the legendary Lee will be collating those questions and putting them into a little document so I can have a look at them and try and answer them for you. And I'm sure members of the team will be able to dive in and answer some of those questions as well. But yeah, do direct them towards Rockfish Games and we'll get them picked up and maybe have a little look-see. Have a little look-see. Yes, yes. Right. That's very handy information. Just do a little copy pasta there because I want that information where we are down here. Bob, there we go. That's cool. That's cool. Excellent, Smithers. So, yeah, we're going to carry on. Then we're going to go and do some flying around. Try not to die. I know you want to see me die. You have this kind of affection for death when it comes to me and my playthrough. And then we'll be looking at the dev build that we've got with regard everything else. Lee's there. We'll also be releasing a new art book and soundtrack on Monday as well. Just finished final checks on the art book and it's super cool. Oh yes, new art book. Did we not mention this? I'm sure we did. New art book, eh? New soundtrack. We like bringing the good stuff. We're kings of good stuff here at Rockfish. But yeah, let's dive in anyway. Let's have a look. See, let's go. Just out of interest, I know there's that question that's just come in about the art book. Will it ship to the Netherlands? It is a digital art book, okay? It is just a digital art book. It's not going to be a physical art book. It's just a digital one. Okay. So, yes. Right, let's see where we're up to. Crash and Burn, level 23, just a little bit above what we're there. So we're doing other stuff where we came here. Gang Wars, maybe a little, okay, possibly. Oh, Living Fossil. Should we really start some of the Titan stuff? Some of the Titan stuff. Let's see that. We could also, while we're going around, do some of the rips in space as well. I think it'd be cool to do that. Let's try and track some of that. So, Dr. Capadia at Kosh Orbit. I think we'll head there. Let's go. Let's go. That one, is it direct? We need to be heading to Dr. Capadia. Okay. Kosh Orbit. So it is Kosh Orbit. Okay, so we're going to Zarkov. Okay, yeah, Zarkov. And then down to Nebula. Cool. Let's get out of there before we get touched on too much. Wizard Jerry, I see your question about the exact release time of Wrath of the Ancients. I've got the details. I'm going to be telling that at the end so that everybody is kind of aware and up to date. But yeah, I have the details about when we are expecting to launch on Monday. Off we go. Whoop. There we go. Right, let's head through here. Try not to... Should we have a look at Smuggler Base? See if he's got any nice things. Sometimes. You never know. You never know. He might have some. Always good to check. Smuggler Bases. Whoop. Let's avoid the rock. Let's see what he's got. What he's got. Has he got any good stuff? Whoosh. Swooping in like a legend. Where else have we got the shop? Okay. Okay. It's a little bit down on down. I think doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Earth wine maybe. Oh, ramen. We all like ramen, don't we? Yeah, nothing good. As we're passing through, nothing good. Right, there we go. So let's 2 or 3 here. Obstacles detected. Let's not crash into anything, because that would be rather hilarious. Oh, you're coming to say hello again, are you? You always want to come and say hello. Yeah. Thank you. Get out of here. EMP'd. That's unfortunate.
Let's start, jerks.
That's not very nice. Adam. Really? Off we go. Let's activate. Let's get out of there before we get shot. Ramen the smugglerware. I love it. I love it. Whoop. Right, let's jumperoo. Off we go. Off we go. Right. What we'll try and do is I'll try and answer the questions on the fly, because I know there's going to be a lot of them. So as they come in, if I'm flying around, I'll try and answer them. Gary Rodriguez over on YouTube. Will we be able to play Lunacy 4000 right from the get-go, or will we need to finish the new storyline first? That's an interesting question. As far as I'm aware, the only restrictive point of access to the new Lunacy is you have to have completed a 2000 Lunacy rift. There we go. Do a barrel roll. Okie dokie. Oh, they're trying to tag onto me, that's fine. Leave me alone. You only need sniper drones. Yeah. Let's not deal with that. Let's get out there. Victor Andre over on YouTube. One more question. How many major updates the game has until now? Currently, if you're talking about a major paid update, then we've only got the one, which is Titans. And then from Monday, Wrath of the Ancients will be free, which will free. I say free to buy, to purchase. So we'll say it's free. So that'll be 2. We have had some updates as well in terms of incursions, Armed and Dangerous. They were all free updates. But yes, we're going to have a total of 2 paid DLCs plus the supporter packs, which if you want to dive in, you get and see some wonderful colours like this on this ship. Etc, etc. Right, let's get out of here. I don't want to be taking these on if I can help it. More questions coming in. Love to see it. Thank you very much. Do keep them coming. Sakib910 over on YouTube. Welcome along. Welcome. Good question coming in. Launch countdown. Is the game coming out in a few days? Monday is when we'll be launching Wrath of the Ancients, which is the new expansion for the game. We'll talk about the times later on. We have got the details of when we're planning to launch the game, launch the expansion, so please do keep your eyes peeled. But yes, Monday is the aim.
Oh my gosh, the bones are huge.
They are huge.
Back, Doc. I see Redeemer patrols. You hold station here. I'll run ahead and clear them out for you.
Cool. Right, let's get rid of some of these Redeemers, because they're all a bit strange. Aren't they? They're all a bit strange, so let's just get these done. Oop. Thank you. A corrosion injector. Unlucky. How about you? You gonna have some fun? There we go. Oh, we'll fire up with the gauze cannon. I'm not generally a gauze cannon fan, but I know that they can be very, very good. Okay, that's a new one. Who are you? Oh, hello. Come in. Really? Are you gonna give me grief? Well, right. Two then. Even the disciple. recycle. Recycle. Good. Everybody's coming in for some action. That's fine. We're nearly done. Where are you? Cool. Oh, double whammy. Like it. You're gone. Next. Oh, way missed. He's a slippery stick, isn't he? He's a slippery one. Who's firing off these? Right, will you just sit still so I can hit you? Thank you. There we go. Right, a couple more. Redeemer Crusaders. And you're nearly done. Boink. Marvellous. Strike indeed. And he's out of there.
Any more of them? Is it safe?
Safe as it ever gets around
Love
here.
it.
What are you hoping to learn?
I'm looking to establish a timeline. When the cluster was first colonized, there were
Interest.
rumors of megafauna in Kite Nebula, leviathans.
Sounds like a drunk spacer's tale, but
But giant skeletons!
She's adorable, isn't she? She's adorable. Right, blueprint. Let's grab that.
Contacts.
Really?
on your scan stock. I'll handle them.
Can't you give me a second, please?
Slay the despoilers.
So what we'll do is we can plonk a couple of those into there. Let's go a bit ham, shall we? Let's
Down
go.
one.
Down one. That's good. Down. Let's get out of there. Boom. Gotcha. You're over here. We got a lot of stuff there. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Yeah, I'm definitely keyboard and mouse fan. Yeah. Definitely keyboard and mouse. Right, Dr. Capadia is getting attacked over here, which is not helpful. Yo! Redeemer Recycle. I'm going to call them Redeemer Recycles. I don't want to call them Disciples anymore. Leave the young lady alone. Stop being a pest. Just trying to do a job. There we go. Whoa. All sorts of stuff. Right. Let's just have a little breather, shall we? I reckon there's a lot of questions coming there. Right. Where did we go to? Fred Spect over on YouTube. How are you doing? Have there been any tweaks to the general difficulty curve in the game? There are quite a few users who have reported strange jumps in difficulty. Not that I'm aware of. I think the team are generally happy in the way that things have progressed. I will touch base with them, but I'm not aware of anything that specifically jumps out in terms of really bad difficulty. But certainly we'll keep an eye on that as always. We do like to make sure that everything is running smooth and tickety-boo, but I'm not aware of anything. Uriel of Sticks over on YouTube. Is there any plans to fix the loading screen where transitioning between areas in open space and instances, as in having a more smooth transition of some kind? Now, this is a very difficult thing to achieve. If you might not have been here last week, but this is going to be the last expansion for EVERSPACE 2. We're going to be moving on to new things. What we're going to talk about that in the future is definitely for the future. But in terms of, I know this has been asked because smooth transitions in terms of going from one place to the next is actually quite difficult to do. We would love to do that. But for EVERSPACE 2, it's not going to happen. The calculations that are made for when you drop out of superlight into a specific area, there's a lot of calculations that happen there. Yes, we would love to do something along that there, but it's a massive undertaking, so we would not be doing anything for EVERSPACE 2 in that regard, just so that we're kind of all on the same page. Revan over on YouTube. Okay, Revan, how are you doing? Welcome along. Will we get an inclusive bundle? Yes, we will. Obviously, there's a Galactic Edition will be available on Xbox and PlayStation, and we've got new bundles coming to Steam too. More on that in the future. Yes, so definitely have a... Oh, I see a question from Twitch as well. I like to try and balance this out. Twitch, come on. You got to up your game. Keep those questions coming, Twitch. Flory is asking, is the DLC required for the new Rift difficulty? Not that I'm aware of, because it is tied to the base game. So if you have the base game, then you will have access to the Nightmare difficulty in Rifts. But obviously, again, the prerequisite is you must have completed 2000 Lunacy Rift to have access. I'll do one more question, then we'll crack on again. Razgriz Sol 13. I'm loving these names. I'm loving it. A question from YouTube. How many more legendaries are being added with this DLC? We have got 3 new legendaries. We have shown them already, but I am going to show them again when we do the recap of everything that's coming. So we've got 3 new legendaries, but we've got a lot of other things as well, which some of you will know about because you'll have seen them last week. So yeah, we'll show them in a little bit. Wow, my everything's getting a little bit on the full side. Just want to double check that anything I'm carrying is actually a worthwhile upgrade or not. Web missiles, not really. Yeah, let's get rid of that. I'm just going to dismantle some of the things that I don't need. See, efficient synchro. You know what? Let's swap that. Let's just get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. Shield, weapon loss. See, that energy core is quite good, but I would lose a little bit. Just a little bit. But yeah, I think it's time to switch that out because that's only a level 18. I could feel that we're just struggling just a smidge, which is never good. So let's get rid of that as well. Don't need them. Nah. That's not good. Yeah. Some things are okay. Some things you just like, not necessary. Let's get rid of that for the time being. Let's just do that. Cool. Right. Keep those questions coming. Lee's going to be collating them wherever you are, whatever you're watching on. If you want to put a question into the chat, just tag Rockfish Games and Lee will collate them and we'll put them in a little document and we'll carry on with some more questions in a little bit. There's Dr. Capadio. She's there scanning away. Look at that. Very efficient, lady. Very efficient. Really? Can you not leave me alone?
How much longer?
I don't know yet. These are bigger than I expected.
Aha! Apparently. Bigger than they expected. You come. I'm getting out of there because I just got hit quite badly there. It's not very nice. Hello. You just get gone. Thank you. And you are gone. Wait, one more. And that one as well. Get a fistful of laser beam. There we go. Love it.
No contacts. We won.
We won. He's always happy as Adam, isn't he? He's a happy chap.
To claim we won would be flagrant exaggeration.
Wow.
Pessimist.
Yeah.
Objective fact.
Mr. Roslin, come see.
I love Hive. I think he's great. He's superb. Ooh, mysterious.
So, is this your drunk spacer's tale, Doc?
Nothing like this has been seen in decades. I ran my tests 3 times to be sure. These bones, they're recent. Radiation decay suggests these have been in space only a few years, and I found a residue that might indicate their point of origin.
one moment.
Look at this skull. This creature might have had the highest mass brain seen in nature. I wonder how intelligent it was.
One must not mistake quantity for quality.
Quantity
The
for
massive
quality.
cerebellum may indicate inefficiency. The materials and ratios of the residue are a match for the atmosphere of Janat at a depth of 300 kilometers.
Janat, the next planet over. Could Leviathans travel interplanetary distances, or did someone move the bones here?
Let's go find out.
Indeed. Victor over on YouTube, just to answer your question, yes, this is from the Titans DLC. Cool. Right, I'll pick up some stuff as we do. Clock field generator. I can't leave stuff around. Can't leave stuff around. Let's grab that. Right. Shall we make like a tree and leave? Off we go. Away we go. Keep those questions coming. I see them trickling in. Love to see it. Love to see it. We like to try and answer the questions. All the stuffs. Sometimes we can't always answer them because we might not actually know the answer. But if we don't, we could always follow up with you in the future. If you're on our Discord, then usually that's the best place that we can have the little discussion afterwards about conversation.
It's a big planet. Where do we start?
I see 2 areas of turbulence below the cloud deck. Like large objects are blocking the jet streams.
More skeletons, you think?
More
I
skeletons.
don't know, but my ship can't go much deeper. Could you check them out?
Sure thing.
Sure thing. Such a cool environment, this. I know we harp on about this with the art team and everything and the environments that they create, but this is so cool. Oh, hello.
What was that noise?
The turbulence subsided as you approached. Did you see anything?
A flock of winged creatures. Did you copy that signal?
What signal? Play it back for me.
Replaying transmission.
Whoa, that got a reaction.
They appear agitated.
Take out the targets. Sorry, cloud grazers. Ow. Why not melting me? Thank you very much. I value my shield and fall. Split.
Doc, that signal drew more flying critters. They swarmed me.
The cloud grazers? Why would they react so violently?
Let me check that other area of turbulence you saw.
Okay. Let's go check it out. Let's fly over there.
Signal on the 1558 megahertz band.
Sounds
Bye,
different
bye,
from
bye.
the first one. Play it back, Hive. Let's see what happens.
More cloud grazers arriving. They are as vexed as the previous group.
Whatever that noise is, they sure don't like it.
Whoop. I really don't like it, do they? Dr. Capadia's getting involved. Cool. I like that. I like that. She's getting involved. Oh, Alec turned up. How you doing, Alec? Nice to see you here. Bit unannounced, but you know, hey, we'll take the win.
Target destroyed.
Thanks, Alec.
That's the last cloud grazer. Dr. Kapadia, can you detect any more turbulence down here? Doc, you copy?
I have lost her transponder fix.
Give me a marker for her last position.
Okay, Dr. Capadia, where have you gone? Where's she disappeared to? Let's fly over there. Lickety split.
Maya,
Redeemers.
Disabled.
Salvation in their bones, their blood.
Done. Cool. Let's do that. We've got some stuff there. I'm not leaving that behind because you never know that good stuff. Armor breakers. Nice. Cool. She's EMP. Not good. Let's reboot her systems, get her back into the game. Literally. Up.
Oh my gosh, that was scary. Thanks.
The Redeemer with the harpoon left behind some kind of gas cloud. Hive, what
He
is
was
that?
just nervous.
A fly-through sample is required for analysis.
Okay, let's fly through his scared sample. Bloop.
Gas is a musk secreted by cloud grazers, pungent but harmless.
Why would Redeemers collect that?
Why do Redeemers yell at clouds?
The screamy guy showed up when you replayed the second signal. I think they were hunting whatever makes it.
If I may, the transmissions patterns suggest intentional composition.
So the radio bursts were saying something?
They were communicating something. Communication is not necessarily speech. One cannot translate birdsong into words.
Fine. Can you tell us what they communicate?
In time.
The shooting scared off everything within 100
He's clever as
clicks.
Hive. He knows
Let's
his
relocate
stuff.
and try again.
Okay. Right, we're gonna get out of here. Let's not fire into the crowd. Boop. There we go. Right, let's set back to where we need to be. Let's go around the planet. It's always good. Ba-ba-ba-da. Loads of questions coming in. I like it. I like it.
See any of those anomalies here, Doc?
Maybe. Deeper, less distinct. Plenty of cloud grazers, though.
Whoop.
Redeemers again.
Redeemers again.
Attack. Let me try something.
Okay. Okay. I was a little bit keen there.
Suck it, screamy guys.
You
Wow.
got the cloud grazers to attack? How?
I bounced the first signal off the Redeemers. Made it look like it came from them.
Cool. Take out the targets. Cloud grazers are doing fine. Oink.
Okay. Those signals provoke cloud grazers to huddle up and make them aggressive. I think it scares them. My theory is it's a hunt call. Whatever makes that signal preys on cloud grazers.
Something down here hunts the cloud grazers, and the Redeemers hunt whatever that predator is.
Analysis complete. Each signal begins with a sequence that corresponds to the geomagnetic coordinates of its origin.
Wow. We're having a full-on science lesson, aren't we? Full-on science lesson. I'm just trying to keep it away from these cloud grazers as well.
From this position?
Done.
Here come the cloud grazers.
Whoa! There was something rising fast. Huge. But it veered off at the last second.
A hypothesis. We know the Redeemers gather musk from cloud grazers.
I'll pause in a second to answer some of your questions, because I know there's a few that are lingering now. We'll definitely answer some for
The
you.
life forms here think we smell that?
You do live in that flight suit.
Wow,
How
Hive.
about this? Find more cloud grazers, shoot them, and douse your ship in musk. Maybe then we'll see what's sending those transmissions.
Fire into the middle of them. There we go. Nasty stuff.
I hope this is working.
I do too.
I believe we have masked the scent of our ship.
Let's try this again.
Transmitting.
This is where things get very big and strange.
Signals back. Rising fast.
Rising fast.
Behind you. Leviathan!
Yes, Lee's very correct there. My ship does smell like it looks.
Mr. Roslin?
Mr. Roslin! Uh-oh. We're in trouble now, aren't we? We're definitely in trouble. Right, once we get loaded in here, we'll just quickly stop there. 1 second. Right. We're just going to plonk that there just for the time being because we've got a lot of questions. Do keep them coming. We're always happy to answer them. So I'm going to drive through some of these. Right, Daniel Matty over on Twitch. Is the new DLC going to add more ship modules? If you mean front and rear modules in terms of for the various ships, no. What you have on your ships now in terms of what you can collect, so your fronts, your wings, your rears, engines, etc. There is not going to be any more. There's not going to be any new ones coming in the expansion. Defcon 454 over on Twitch. Is it possible for us to get a quality feature in an update post-expansion launch? The game could use means for a player to organise the way their ships are presented in their list order in the hangar. I know it's been something that's been requested, but I don't think it's something that we're going to include. Now, I wouldn't expect, and we're quite transparent here, and we do kind of lay things out, just to be honest with our players. I wouldn't expect many quality of life changes post-launch. We're going to be focusing on fixing issues. We do, already have potential issues that we're fixing up, and there's going to be a hot fix. However, I wouldn't expect any grand changes in terms of quality of life or new features coming to the game. That's just being plainly honest with you. We don't want to say, hey, we might do it, we might not do it. As far as we are aware, we're not going to be planning any big changes to the game post-launch. Flavio Mazzaro Filo over on YouTube. I hope I haven't butchered your name. I do apologize if I did. Will the expansion come to Portuguese, Brazilian? Any of the original translations, then they will be in the same languages for Wrath of the Ancients. So if you play the game in Portuguese, Brazilian, then you will see that option to have subtitles in those languages, etc. But obviously we have the fully voiced in English and German, but then subtitles are available for all the other languages. So yes. That will be there. Gary Rodriguez over on YouTube. Will base game players have access to the altars? That's a very good question, actually. I don't think you will, simply because you won't have access to the areas. So, obviously, for the areas that the altars are, which are going to be in Okkar space, then you're not going to have access to those areas without the expansion. I'm happy to be corrected on that, but that is my understanding. Uriel of Sticks over on YouTube. Not sure if this was mentioned, but will there be something like scrap delete all non-favorite items to keep inventory management more smooth? There are going to be ways. I will show you those in some of the quality of life improvements that we're bringing to the game, specifically how you can lock down favorites, etc., and then you can kind of click, tag, dismantle, etc. But I'll show you those in a little while. Fred Speckvet over on YouTube. What was used for the sound effect during the Cloud Grazer fight? Were actual animal sounds used mixed with something else? I don't know. I'd have to actually ask Gero and Lucas, probably Gero, to find out what that was. There may have been, but I'm not entirely sure. But I would have to ask. I'll try and follow up on that and see if we can get an answer, because it is an interesting sound. The sound team do an amazing job. Big shout out to them, because obviously that puts you in a kind of good environment. It's not only visual, but also the audio has to fit. At some point, I hope, maybe in the future, we might get Gero on to have a little chat with us, which would be super cool as well. That'd be super, super cool. Victor Andre back on YouTube. Will the game have a discount? I mean, the beginning of the game or the Titan? We're not able to talk about sales or price reductions, etc., anything like that are going to happen. Once they happen, then obviously we can, but in advance, we're not able to, I'm afraid. So our game is relatively not always on sale, but regularly on sale. So if you do want to dive in for a discount, then that is the time, if you want to count those pennies. And just to mention as well, was a highlight of the stream last time, but the Wrath of the Ancients, we've actually reduced the price. So if you're interested in diving in, the price has reduced from the original announcement. So it's $5 off the original price. So you're going to save some pennies there. We know that the world is turning in a very strange way in terms of money, and people maybe not got the same amount of free cash that they can spend on a wonderful hobby that is gaming. But we've tried to alleviate that as much as we can with our product by giving a nice reduction there. So if you are interested, it is at a reduced price now, and that's what the price is going to be at launch. So yeah, we're trying to help you out so that you can enjoy our product and maybe save a few pounds and dollars and everything for you as well. So hopefully. Let's have a look. Ragriz back on YouTube. Is there any plans to update enemy levels to match your level when traveling to old or early in the game locations? We do have kind of a level scaling dynamic that goes on, but I believe one of the fellow chatters did actually kind of put it out there. Depending upon what you or how far you are through the main story, at certain points you will get bump up in terms of level of the area that you're in, but also the previous area. So you will see a significant jump for the enemies. They'll kind of get warning that you're powerful, so they become a bit more powerful too. So it does make it that you are able to go back to the areas and have a bit of a challenge. That doesn't mean that you're just going to get absolutely obliterated, but obviously they do have a jump up in terms of power level for themselves, so they'll match nearly to your level or on your level, depending upon how quick you're going through it. Gary Rodriguez, can we get a portal that lets us restart the entire game at level 30 with our gear? I think what you're asking for is a new game plus. We've debated this many times about whether we should bring it to the game, and we'd want to do it justice, but as I said earlier, we're not planning to bring anything new in terms of quality of life or features. Now, certainly a new game plus would be classed as a new feature. We don't have any plans to do that. So I think we've kind of mulled over it several times. I know the team have discussed it, Michael and the guys back in Hamburg designing it, and it's not something that we're going to be doing. So again, just being transparent and out there, it's not looking likely that something like that would ever come to the game. We've kind of discussed it many times. I know certainly something that I harp on about is how I listen to what you guys say, your ideas, your suggestions, and I'll put them towards the team, but there's not a desire to do that for the game. And then last up, from Flory for the time being, over on Twitch, when Space Whale plushie? I love that you guys love all this stuff. A Space Whale plushie would be good, wouldn't it? It'd be good. Lee, we need a Space Whale plushie. And yeah, I'm sure we could knock it out of the park. It'd be, I don't know. It'd be one of those things that we can put on as a nice to have. But I'm not promising anything. But yeah, if you've got any more questions, do hit them into the chat. I think I've gone through all of them there, which is very cool. I don't think I've missed any. If I have, do let me know, and I'll get back to you on that. But with regards to the release time and the release for people on Monday, I will talk about that at the end in a nice big wrap up, so everybody's got the details and it's in your head about when you need to be ready, fingers on the button for the download and everything else. So yeah, we've got a time in mind, and we're definitely going to be there. Now, I think what I should do, you've seen me just dabble in this and I've done a lot of talking. I'm going to switch over to the dev build. So let me just get out of here. Let me just quit to there and bring up the dev build, because we're going to look at some of the changes that are be coming your way. We do want to show you one of the side missions. Yes, one of the side missions that's going to be coming your way. So let me just bring up the dev build. Come on, where are you? There we go. Boop. Bringing it in. Bringing it in. And then we'll talk about a lot of the changes that are happening, quality of life features that are bringing, which are very, very nice. We are going to reveal everything, by the way. There's definitely not going to be showing everything. So we are holding some things back. You know, we can't show everything. But yeah, as Lee's just said across the chat, and just to echo that, you will see some spoilers here. So please be prepared. If you don't want to see anything coming with the new expansion, then you may want to not watch the next bit, or maybe watch it after launch, for example. Right, let me just load up, because I just need to bring in that. And let's just do that. And let's just bring in that. As soon as it's loaded in, I shall show you the content. I just don't want to be... Okie dokie, right. Okie dokie, right, let's just do that. Let's just do that. And let's bring you back in. So... What? There we go. There we go. Right, you may have remembered that we showed this kind of place last week, but I'm going to show you one of the new enemies, or some of the new enemies that are going to be coming your way in this nice little outlaw base, but it's not your standard outlaws. This is going to be feature some new enemies. Again, we are going into spoiler territory, so do mind your eyes if you don't want to see this. Mind your ears as well. So we're going to be revealing some things. There is one enemy here that we didn't show last week, if I remember correctly, which I thought would be very, very cool to show you this week. So here we are. We are at a destroy an Okkar prime base. Okay, so it's not your normal base. We've got some enemies down there. We've got the prime sentry drones, the prime protectors, prime plasma, but we've also got a new one that's hiding in there, the split fighter. Now, if I remember correctly, we did not show that last week, but I've also got some new enemies over here as well at the base, which we will have seen. But we're just going to deal with those now as we head in here. Just going to get rid of this booster. So this guy here and this one down here are firing some projectiles at me, which is not very nice. Get caught by one of them and they can hurt you. They can definitely hurt you. So there's a couple there. I'm just going to get rid of that. There we go. Don't want to be dealing with you. So let's get you out of the equation. And a prime fusion projector, they're called. So yeah, just got to be mindful. Keep out of the way. Very, very difficult. Now, here we have the prime shift turret. He's just moved. Where did he go? Up here now. There we go. So he's gonna shift around. So he may move again, depending upon how brave he's feeling. Just take out that prime booster there. We'll take out that as well, so we'll get rid of that. Scrap metal. There we go. Let's try these damnedest. I'm just gonna see if I can spawn some of the enemies from here. Are you coming out to play? Yes, you are. So we've got the prime protectors and the prime fighters. The prime protectors, I'm sure you've seen before. Because obviously they are Okkar. He's down. Got a hit there from behind. Nasty. There's a prime fighter, and then there's a prime protector who does fire those, which you kind of want to avoid. Because if anybody's been hit by them, they can really not do you any favours. But you can always fire them as well. Doing his long swirly fight. Keep him out. Yeah, got him confused there, didn't we? Let's get him dead. So there's some of the enemies we're going to be dealing with. We still got the Okkar prime shift turret. He's now moved there. So he can jump around, so don't expect him to stay in one place. So if all of a sudden you start shooting at him... Oh wow, more friends have come. Hello. There we go. coming to friend. Yeah. Interceptor. You're gone. I am a little bit OP in this build, to be fair. I'm kind of destroying these, but it is what it is. But yeah, they're the protectors again, firing these. Do not get caught if you can help it. There we go. So we're going to take out... Oh, he's moved. See, he jumped. Let's take you out. So the Okkar Prime Shift turret, he's dead. Nice. We won't collect the stuff. And now the boss has spawned an elite Okkar Prime Corvette. These can do a bit of damage as well, so just gotta be careful. Just gotta be careful. Give him some corrosion. So it's a standard kind of procedure with an Outlaw base. This time you're just dealing with Okkar Prime and their friends. He just hit me quite bad there. Okay, Eshahar fragments, and they're something that you're going to definitely need. So you deal with them, collect them. Some more there, that's good. More Eshahar fragments. Some new collectibles. Well, let's go see some of these friends over here, shall we? Let's have a look at our new enemies. So we've dealt with the Prime Protectors. We're going to deal with the Prime Sentry Drone, because he is a pain. But we've also got these that we're going to be dealing with. That Prime Sentry Drone, I'm probably going to have to take out first, because he is very annoying. But as you can see, he kind of keeps rotating. Do some damage, he can shift. Split Fighter I will deal with as well, because he's a new one. Let's get rid of the Prime Drone there, he's gone. Prime Fighter, I don't want to hit you by accident. Just going to get rid of the enemies that we've already seen. So the Prime Protector over there, that's not very nice. Let's get them fired up. Wow. That's him done. Boop. Let's teleport out of the way. Prime Protector is not playing nicely. Ouch. Another Prime Fighter. Get him done. So that is the Split Fighter. The Plasma Drone. You're going, because you're hurting me badly. Okay. So the Split Fighter here, you can see, is an intriguing design. I'm just going to tickle him a little bit. I don't want to totally kill him, because he's got a little feature that does that. So his wings come off, and then he can aim at you, he can start shooting at you, but he will also blow up. And that leaves the main body of the enemy available. There's the other wing that hasn't just blown up yet. Just got rid of that. So that's a new tactic that you're going to have to deal with. I love how people were like, he's going to die here, he's going to die, we're going to get a death counter and everything. So the Split Fighter, I don't believe we showed him last week, and I think he's going to be an interesting one to deal with, because you tickle him, then he detaches his wings, those become detonators that will track you and try and get close to you. All the while, the original bodywork of the Split Fighter is still shooting at you. And here we have the Sentry Drone, who's still chilling out. There he is. And he can do that, turn around, and he's got a front shield. And he's going to hit hard if you're not careful. Away he goes. There we go. Yeah. He's a good looking thing. They're going to be deadly. They are going to be deadly. Let me just take him out. Make him go boom. There we go. New collectible items as well. Silomite crystal. Nice. Something else for you to collect. Yes, good. That's good. Let's see. If you do have any questions from the content that you've seen, do ask away. We may have already covered it, but we're more than happy to go through it again, because we're going to be showing all sorts of stuff. Containers, I'm not going to open them because you never know what you're going to find. But that is one of the Outlaw bases, one of the new little events that you're going to be dealing with. New enemies, specifically from the Okkar Prime. But yeah, interesting. Some similar, some new. Right. I know what you might also like to see is some of the other enemies, and we did show these last week. Just bear with me. I'm just going to do that. The only reason I do that is because I've got to spawn them in, and I'm not showing you all that. Oh, no. No. Right, let's spawn in some enemies. Let's get our friends in. Right, let's bring you back in. Here we go. You did see these last week, but we're going to show you them again because people haven't seen them. Now, these are just your ancient swarmers that you're going to be dealing with. They are nasty. They are not fun to be around. But the ancients are going to be saying hello. So they can move, they go into a damage absorption phase, which is when they kind of go almost liquidy. I want to say it's like a liquid. So when they're in that form, you aren't going to be damaging them. I will respawn some more in a second, because there wasn't as many as I'd hoped. Yeah, similar enemies, but yeah, they hit hard. Expect the ancients to hit hard. When we hit them and you see like a pulsing white flash, that is when they're in a state that you cannot hurt them. It's not. He's quite easy. Like there, when he zips off, he's in damage absorption mode and you can't do any damage. But he's nearly dead. Boom. There we go. Right, let's see if we can spawn in some more. Let's see if we can spawn in some more. So just bear with me. I shall just do that. Let's see if we can bring the big boys in. Come on. Let's there we go. Right, let's bring them back in. Oh, it's not playing nice. We're only spawning the small ones. Let's deal with these again. I'll try and get one of the bigger ones to come in. One of the fun ones. You can stun them as well with the EMP. Do not get stunned and you're just being a mess. And we have to spawn in a couple of groups. Yeah, there we go. Boop. Right. Just bear with me. I shall do that again. Don't go nowhere. I'll try and definitely get one of the slightly bigger ones to come in this time. Right. Here we go. We've got some big boys coming in this time, which is always good. I'm just going to get some distance because they are going to come and say hello. We've also got some Bloodstar, but they're fighting each other. Isn't that fun? Right. If you'll notice, there is an ancient swarmer there who is slightly larger than the others. He's also going to be launching ancient swarmer drones. Yes. But he's very powerful as he is. But we're going to try and deal with these if we can. And as you notice, these drones do zip around very quick. And they just literally want to smash you in your face. Which is always good. Always fun. Has game sound disappeared? Let me just bring it back. There we go. Is that good? I think we've got game sound back. That's good. Should be good. Have you got it back? Hopefully you've got it back. Can you hear the game sound? Have we got the game sound? Ah, there we go. Good, good. That's it. Excellent. Right, I'm just going to take out these swarmer drones. Literally, they will swarm you and then smash you in your face, which is never fun. Okay. That's cool. What have we got over here? Well, okay, we've got the Ancient Swarmer who's having fun over here. Let's go tickle him a little bit. But he's a slightly bigger guy. He's an interesting one. They are taking on the Bloodstar, which is quite fun. He leaves me alone. You can see that he actually spawns the Swarmers. But then he goes into damage absorption. Yeah. He resists. So initially when he's in the corporeal form, he will resist. He did a little attack there, which pushed me out of the way. So if you kind of get too close and he's not happy about it, he will punch you away. Say, get gone. So these swarmers, as the name implies, will swarm you. So you resist that again. Hello, let's not get too close. You might get very agitated. So just be mindful of the form that he is in. If they're in the corporeal form, they will not take the damage. Like that. You mind stop destroy. There we go. You can see the pulse as I attacked. See that? That attack hit me, pushed me away. So he's like, get out of here, get out of here. We don't want you that close. So that's one. There we go. That's the perfect example. My attacks are doing nothing. Still doing nothing, but now we know that. Let's hit him. You can go away. And you. I'll try not to kill myself, because he will hurt me. So that is some of the ancients. Not all. Definitely not all. Because we wouldn't want you to, you know, see all the surprises. Talahar says, I really love these new enemies. The swarminess of them really tickles me. Absolutely, absolutely. Excellent. Right, so if you've got any questions, please do throw them in. We are going to switch over to looking at our quality of life features. Yes, our quality of life, which is always good. We'll just do that. So just bear with me while I disappear for a second and load in something new. There we go. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's go to there. Right. Home base. Let's get loaded into home base, shall we? Let's see. So I've got a nice list of everything that we kind of need to talk about. I'll try to remember to talk about. So we'll do that while we are here. Okie dokie. Right, let's bring you back in. Game sound. As long as we've got the game sound. That's always good. So here we are at home base. Tickling along with everything that we've got new. Now, if you have a couple of ships, which we do have, luckily, we have the Osprey and we have the gunship. Players have often said to us in the past, do you know, it's a bit awkward trying to transfer your gear from one ship to the next. Well, we've kind of worked on that. The team have worked around it, Tees especially, to make this happen. And now we have the open ship-to-ship transfer when you're docked. So if you're at home base and you have a wonderful... People don't like my striker. I really don't know why. If you have a couple of ships, maybe you have a third ship, fourth ship, fifth ship, up to 9 ships. 1 second. I just got a little message. Okay, yeah. So everybody got the game sound back. Whew. Yeah, I just got the message from Lee there. I was like, oh, game sound's gone again. Oh, yeah, that's fine. we're back on. We're back on. That's good. So yeah, maybe you've got up to 10 ships. If you want to swap those around. Now, notice I said 10 ships. Because when you get Wrath of the Ancients, obviously we've got the new ship coming. And we have added at least... We've added 1 more ship slot that you can have. So you can have a maximum of 10 now. 1 more of 10. Bivage, I asked for this years ago during early access nights. Yes. So as you can see, over on the far side, I've got my ship that I've got, which is the Striker. I've got my Liberator and my gunship, which is above me here. So if you want to transfer something literally across, you can just drag and go, boom, there you go. It's now in my other ship, which is here, which is the gunship. Flory says, how about 10 interceptors? Nice. Chronoburger, just to answer your question on the fly here regarding loadout. Again, it's something that the team have looked at. There's no plans to introduce that. We're hoping that this kind of alleviates it somewhat, but the work to allow for loadouts, etc., was a significant thing to do. But we do hear you. We've not ignored it. We have discussed it, and then obviously we've got things in mind for the future as well. As I said last week, any of the ideas, suggestions that you have, we've noted them down. We've taken them on board. We can't always promise to implement them. There's no guarantee that it's something that the team necessarily want to do or are able to do. We only have a finite amount of time, and we have a vision for the game, whatever we're working on, the same with EVERSPACE 1 and EVERSPACE 2, of how far we can go with our time, development time, and what we're trying to achieve. So you've always got to work within that remit, and it's very, very difficult at times to step outside of that. We have some wonderful ideas from you boys and girls, absolutely amazing, and we love that, that you are so impassioned that you want to have that in a game, and it gives us great food for thought, and that's what we want to hear. Again, there's never ever a promise to implement these features. We'll say, hey, thanks for that, we'll take it on board, but again, that's never saying that we're going to do it. But I think we're very honest and upfront about that. I think it's always something that people do understand from us, but we do listen, and that's I think a very positive thing in the gaming industry, that you literally should listen to what the players say. So we can swap things over if you want to put them into, you know, your slots. If you want to go that, yeah, fine. How about if you're thinking, right, I just want to swap to the ship. I want to switch everything out of my cargo, yeah, into my new ship. Well, now we have a new little button here. Yeah. Boom. There you go. All goes across. Now, obviously, in terms of the striker having 3 primaries, the gunship with your primaries, secondaries, you're not always necessarily going to want to swap everything across in terms of equipment, because you might not have the thing that you want, for example. So with regards to this, you might be thinking, that doesn't really suit what I want, so maybe I can't just swap that over, but I want to take these across, so that's good. But what do I choose? Do I take that? Yeah. So there's options there for you, and we know that it was something that was very frustrating for players. It's just one of those things that takes time to enable. So instead of going into your storage and going, right, I'm going to put that there, then I'm going to swap to this ship, and then I'm going to put that there, that was very, very tedious. And we didn't, you know, we heard you, we felt it, we knew that there was a thing going on. So, yep, ship to ship transfer is very, very handy, and it allows us to switch things around as you want. So, yeah, one of the good changes. Now, it was discussed earlier about how you can make sure that you don't dismantle things by accident. Don't do anything in terms of sell the wrong item, because that is all possible. And sometimes players do that. So what we want to do is, for example, now, you can just see it down at the bottom there with the Alt key. If you hold down Alt, your item now becomes favorited. You can see it's got the nice little yellow star next to it. That means that you cannot sell it, you cannot dismantle it, because it comes a favorite. Basically, it locks it down. And that did come from the community. Again, we listen. It's a nice change, something that's going to be helpful for the future for everyone. Now, again, if you obviously go along and go, do you know what, I want to out that one. Yeah, I want to out that one. Get everything that's kind of favorited, because you're going to do this. You're going to turn them on, turn them off, and then obviously there may be a point where you're a vendor and you're like, oh, I want to sell that item, but you've got it locked and you can't sell it. Just remember that you'll have probably favorited it. Probably leave it. I'm just trying to catch up with any questions. If you do have them, just throw them into chat. Do tag at Rockfish Games, just in case I don't want to miss them. Because there's lots of questions that may sneak through. Bivage, I see your question. Are the new quality of life features like this one exclusive to the DLC? No. These quality of life improvements are for the base game so that everybody can enjoy them. We didn't think it was fair that anything that isn't Wrath of the Ancients would be excluded. So obviously there's certain things that are behind the Wrath of the Ancients expansion. However, things like this with the new quality of life features, we do that for the base game. So talking about the base game, there will be an update to the base game on Monday as well, alongside the Wrath of the Ancients. So do expect to download, even if you only have the base game, you don't have any of the expansions or anything like that, there will be an update to include these features. So do expect that. So that's one of the changes that we've got coming. If you want to, how about Control A? There we go. Simple change. I know it sounds silly, but simple change. Let's just expand that. Everything's there. If you want to move you can move the boom. There you go. Yeah. So if you want to do that again, just Control A, and then you can move them back. It's the same as that, but if you mark the ones that you want to move, and then you go boop, boop, there you go. You can move the ones that you want en masse. A lot easier, so just mark the ones that you want, switch them around, move them about. Great change, great change. I love it, I love it. Set items as well. I'm just trying to go through this list. I've got so many listed that I want to make sure that we cover. We have noticed over here, I'll do it over so we can see it. Now obviously you can sort by latest, you can sort by value, you can sort by item type, you can sort by rarity, you can sort by level, but we've also included by set item. And again, this was a community suggestion. Soon as I hear these suggestions, or maybe the other members of the team have read these things, they will literally go, can we do that? How can we do it? Is it going to be valuable to the game? Should we do it? There's lots of questions that you need to ask with ideas. They sound great, but then there's a lot of implementation time that needs to go into it. So you can now sort by groups. So we've got together we stand, together we stand, together we stand. Isn't that handy? That's very, 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 very nice. Bivage question there. Are there plans to release a package with everything, like a Game of the Year version? We do have plans for that, yes. Thought of Asgard, how do you move several items on console? I will have to check. I'm not too sure because of the lack of modifiers how you would do that, or if you could do that. I would have to check in with the team. Again, I have a controller. I'm terrible with it, so I stick to keyboard and mouse, but I will double check in on that just to make sure. There may be an option. I'll have to check in on it. But yeah, definitely for PC, you can control click or control A and then move. Or if you want to, there is this button here which will move everything in your inventory. And then if you want to move it all back, you can move it all back as well. So yeah, set items is there. Another simple change. People were like, hang on, I've got to use Z or C to move. But now you can just click. You've got a little button there as well that you can click if you want. So if you didn't want to, press Z or C, then you can just click. Just click. A lot easier. Now, I believe that is a PC-only feature, if I remember correctly, because it allows you just to click on that. Again, just for confirmation. There has been some updates to the codex as well, in terms of how the data has been split out. So you may see some changes in there. I'm not going to show you anything in the codex because we could go into spoiler territory there, because obviously our dev build may feature certain things that you don't want to see just yet. So just bear that in mind. Ooh, ship customization. Ooh, let's have a look. Let's have a look, shall we? Right, original styles. You gotta love this. You gotta love this. Okay, so we're going to pick this nice blue there. Isn't that cool? That's quite nice, isn't it? That's quite nice. So we'll do a little edit. Now you might have seen a variety of things here where you can see that you now have the tabs of what the colors are that you've got on your ship. You might also have a specific livery. One of the things that people asked was when they're kind of styling the ship, they don't always get to see how things look. Now at the bottom you'll see holding down the Q key holds down show effects. So if you do that, you can now see what the emissive lights are doing, what the engine colors are doing, and then the engine effects as well. Because then you can rotate around your ship and have a look and say, that looks splendid. That's very splendid. Very, very nice. So that's one of the things. You'll also notice as well, import from other styles. All nice, cool quality of life. So if we pull down X, we will now get to choose. Maybe we've got, I don't know, we've got the current one, which we quite like, but we want to copy it across or vice versa. Whichever way you wanted to. So if you wanted to, you can hold down import. Boom. There you go. That's now copied straight across. None of the... We've had this situation, I've done it myself, where I'm written down the colour. Right, okay, that colour. Okay, that metallic, that kind of thing. Now it just goes bloop, straight across. Handy little change. I know it sounds really simple, but it's one of those things that we've always wanted to get to, but we can't always. Other things always take priority. But now we're trying to bring in some of these nice quality of life improvements for you to enjoy. We've got that in there. Okay, one thing that Tease did tell me the other day, and it's a new feature as well. Let's put on a nice livery on top of the ship, shall we? Let's go for something, I don't know. Let's go that one. That's a full-on crazy pattern. Let's do that. But we're going to change it to black, just so we can see. That's not too shabby, is it? That's not too shabby. Now, there is an opacity setting that you can change the opacity of the livery. Again, very nice change, very nice change. Lots of things, a lot of members of the team do dive in with these changes. I know Tease implements a lot of them, but a lot of work is done by the other members of the team to try and get these. So you will come up with some very cool looking ships. I mean, that doesn't look too bad even with that opacity. I'm quite, Then if you wanted to change it to metallic, give it a slight metallic edge, maybe a bit more gloss, a bit more shiny. So yeah, that's not too bad. But yeah, you can tweak the opacity down or up, and that's going to be on your livery as well. One of those cool little things. I'm going to talk a little bit more about quality of life things as we see. But what I want to just mention is one of the... and I don't think I've got it on my ship at the moment. I'll just double check. Let me just check in my inventory. No, I don't. Judgment Day. If any of you remember this, this is a mine launcher that kind of then fires out in all directions. It was quite rightly pointed out, and we did bring this up virtually straight away, that people were not happy that you were damaged as a player. It's a very powerful weapon, and it's a great cool effect, but we've now changed it so that in the future, from Monday after the patch, you're not going to get damaged by it. Which is a nice change, because there's nothing worse than firing off something and then all of a sudden you're getting obliterated by your own weapon fire. Similarly to that, the auto fire on primary critical attribute is removed for cruise missiles. Quite often, we've had screenshots put into our Discord of various damage levels that people have incurred from firing a cruise missile and being a little bit too close. Super Scrapples, no! They always wanted to go to the self-damage big numbers, but yes, that is now going to go. So if you do accidentally fire off a cruise missile, it is definitely your own problem. You've caused that. Dear. Bearded Frog, my mainframe expansion. Nah, I don't think I'm going to use it. I don't want to. I'm just going to leave it there. But yeah, Pappy's quite happy with that change. It is a cool one. Now, we do like to balance things within the game, and we did find that one thing in particular was just ever so slightly out of whack. So from Monday, and this will affect the base game as well, if you are using the Hollow Legendary Plating, we have reduced the hull damage reduction on it. Okay, we did find that it was just a little bit too strong. So I know some of you will be like, oh, but that means I can't sit in a rift and just do anything. Because there was a kind of build that allowed you to do that. Now, we want you to play the game. We want you to be active. We want you to move around. I know it's difficult to kind of, when you find a meta build, people tend to focus on it, but we want people to enjoy the game, not just sit there and go, I win. So there is a slight reduction in that. You're still going to be very, very powerful, but just be mindful that that is going to change come Monday. What else have we got? Upgrade to the Unreal Engine as well is going to be coming your way. You won't see much change. A lot of it is systems that we will use in the back end. It does help us, obviously, improvements and patches from Unreal do generally mean that things run a bit smoother. So, but don't expect a massive FPS increase or anything like that. We try and implement as many features as we can that are viable. But currently, our game engine is Unreal Engine 5.4.4, and we'll be going up to Unreal Engine 5.5.4. Okay, so a little jump there that we've been pushing through as we're going along. Now, I'm just going to go to the pause menu because we have some new changes as well that are coming your way in terms of upscalers. Okay, so we are updating. I think I might be in the way. Let me just get rid of my face. I know you'll all appreciate that. So, as you can see, we are moving up to DLS 4.4. FSR 3.13, XESS is 1.31, and then obviously there's still the Unreal Engine TSR there to be utilized. So I'm doing that. What you will also see is we've got frame generation, which is something that's very, very nice. If you utilize that, that can be turned on if you want, and also ray reconstruction. That is another new feature coming your way. Obviously, they are DLSS in terms of NVIDIA things. So if you do have those, then you can turn them on. I don't believe... Let me just check that. Yep, you can have it for FSR as well, because obviously they have their own. So if you do have a 5000 series or anything that can utilize frame generation, then you can utilize that. Now, just speaking around FSR 3.13. That is currently the version that you're able to use in game. However, let me just bring my face back in because I'm talking to myself. If you have the AMD Adrenaline software, you will be able to activate FSR 4, but you have to do it through the AMD Adrenaline. It's not available directly, but there is a way to activate it through AMD Adrenaline. So that's a nice little improvement there if you wish to, but you must do that, as I've said, through the AMD Adrenaline. Again, this is a lot of content from our changelog of what you're going to see. There's going to be a lot of additions. I don't think that anything's come in the last couple of hours. One thing you'll also probably notice, we did the work, obviously, for the Xbox Series S because we had some significant performance issues, which we've rectified. But the knock-on effect of that is it does allow us to save on resources for every game. Every aspect of our game. So there may be, a reduction in memory usage for things like that. There's no guarantees, but just be mindful that the work that we did on the Series S will help as well with regards memory and usage. So it's all good. Whatever you are playing the game on, I see there's some chat about the different graphics cards that are available. Whatever you are playing on, as long as it kind of meets the minimum requirements, we've hopefully got a setting that you can utilize. Even if you have to turn the game down low, use upscalers to help you get the performance, then it's all good. I don't mind using various DLSS stuff because I think it works and works very, very nice. But yeah, pick your poison and then take it from there. Let's have a look. Speaking of obviously the update to the base game, I asked this question because I know somebody was going to ask it, so I thought I'd get ahead of the game with this one a little bit. How big is the download going to be? So, if you have a fresh install of the base game, so no DLC at all, and then you updated to Wrath of the Ancients and included the Titans, the sports pack would be in there as well. The download is going to be approximately 22 gigabytes. Okay. Now that mileage will vary depending upon whether you have all the DLC, whether you're doing it from fresh, because some people do. Some people literally will completely re-download the game with any updates. and that's entirely up to you. But do expect, if you have the base game installed, that the patch size will be about 22 gig. So that's going to take you X amount of time, depending upon how slow, fast your internet is. So do bear that in mind. It's going to take you a little while. It will certainly take me on my slightly slower internet, but yeah. Whatever you do take some time out from that. Literally, it will look at the files and then it will download what it needs, and then it will patch all the necessary files. But we shall see what your requirements are, because that's on a very individual basis. Just to speak about, and I can't show you because I don't want to accidentally show anything. Achievements. So people have asked, have we got new achievements coming to the game? Yes, we do. Well, we've got some good achievements heading with regards Wrath of the Ancients. So if any reason you see that there's a percentage change on your completion rate, then you'll know why. Also, if I remember correctly, Hansikar did say to me that we will be taking away like the Titans achievements from the base game. So if you're doing something like no asteroid unturned, which is one of the achievements for completion rate, then that will change, will only be affected by the base game. So we're kind of chopping them up so that it doesn't affect you if you only have the base game. So just be mindful of that. Now, should we talk about some of the new gear coming? I think you'd like to see some of that. So let me just get that loaded in. Let me just tweaky, load this in. Again, a lot of this you'll have already seen maybe last week, but there's a lot of people here who won't have seen it. So I thought it's best just to go over things again. I've got a few questions that are there in the chat, which I'll just have a look at in a second. Just bring that back up. There we go. Right. Let me just scrolly because we've got loads of questions there. Ragriz, I think, yeah, I've answered that one. If you inflict damage over town while in solid form, does the damage tick stop when they go liquid? Yes, I believe so, because they resist it. I think you're talking about the ancients there that we're doing. Jack Savage over on YouTube, is there a limit to the new rarity, like similar to legendary? We'll talk about that in a very, very short time, because I'm just going to go through the whole weapons and new tier of power of weapons as well. Pappy over on YouTube. So this is the last DLC. Can I assume not necessarily the last update, or will there be last update as well? Our plan is to fix the game should we encounter bugs, and I know for a fact that we've probably got at least one hotfix candidate ready that we're going to be deploying at some point after launch. Okay, so don't expect it straight away. If we find issues that we can fix and that we're going to dive into, then yes, we will bug fix. We are still going to support EVERSPACE 2. I couldn't give you a time frame, etc., or anything like that, but we will be monitoring for issues and everything else. So yeah, it may be the last DLC for EVERSPACE 2, but it is not the last time that we're going to be touching the contents of the game in terms of fixing and making sure it all works. And Thor of Asgard over on YouTube would ask, do you have the PS5 Pro dev kit yet? And if so, when do you envisage there will be a Pro patch? As far as I'm aware, Michael may be able to correct me on this, we do not have the PS5 Pro dev kit yet, as far as I am aware. I'm happy to be corrected on that from any on the team, but as far as I'm aware, we do not have that yet. Right. Let's have a little look-see, actually, at our content. So over on the far side, we've got some new weapons. Oh yes, we've got some new weapons, which is very, very handy. A lot of this stuff is all level 30. Now, I'm just going to screenshot it. I'm not going to show too much because I'm very mindful of the time that we have, and we've got a lot to get through, and I'm sure you're all very excited and you're wishing away the next few days to launch. But here we have one of the new pulse lasers called the Unifier. We have the scimitar beam. People were a little bit indifferent about this. I think once you get your hands on it, you'll enjoy it immensely. Shard gun. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to let's just lock and load, shall we? Let's just run through these, shall we? Let's just do this, shall we? Right. So this is the Unifier. Yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, so there's like very strong, very powerful. Right, the scimitar beam. If you will notice, it does not go all the way to the crosshair. I'll just show you in the camera mode. They do not meet, so imagine like dual scimitars. That's cool. I do like these screenshots. And that's the other thing. I want to see screenshots next week. Non-spoilery ones. Make sure you put them in the screenshot channel on our Discord because I want to see them. But if they are of content, just be mindful. Not everybody wants to see it because they won't be as far as you. Okay, so that's the scimitar. Come on, that's very nice. Very nice. And obviously that is the unifier. Very, very nice. I know you all want to see these, so I'm gonna go through them. So we've got the shard gun and we've got the sandstorm. So a real gun. This one is a nice sounding thing. I feel like I'm pulling the same faces as last week, but I love this sound. Très bien. Love it. And then we've got the autocannon. The sound. I just love the sound. I think Gero, Lucas, and everybody else that works on the sound. Superb. Yep. Cool. Next. The Stoic Scattergun and the Voltaic Blaster. Michael's just been volunteered there to do a Michael Premium Selects. If you don't know what Michael Premium Selects is, he will choose some of his personal favourites of your screenshots. And then we'll have him on chatting about those and why he did actually choose them. I'm sure we can drag him on. Anyway, this one is the Stoic Scattergun. Can you imagine a game without sound? Sound enhances things so much, and I think Gero and the team do a wonderful job. Absolutely superb. And then we've got the Stoic Scattergun. This one's superb. Now, please note, if I hold my mouse in the same position, it will hit on target. There we go. We've got Michael saying, let's see what you guys can show with Wrath of the Ancients. Oh, yes. Just remember, if you do post them on our Discord, just for the time being, do put them in spoiler tags so that you're not revealing everything and anything. Because some people might not be as far as you in the journey in the Wrath of the Ancients. But this one, again, just a scattergun. You can aim it. It's not just one and done. I don't normally like scatterguns, but I think this may change my mind as a choice in the future. I'm enjoying this. I'm like, fire it up. Right, next. Come on, we've got so much to go through. Right, Barrage Blaster and the Omniflare. We did show the Omniflare. Omniflare is going to be difficult to show. Okay, we'll just switch. I'll fire the Omniflare. I do need a target. Let's go find a target. There was a target over here a minute ago. Where's he gone? Oh, they've jumped out. They must have knew I was going to switch to the Omniflare. But that will home in on whatever your target is. Great one. But yeah, Barrage Blaster. That does some damage. Up close and personal with that. Ooh, that's going to be nice. Some strafing runs there. Like it. Like it. Next up. Oh, what we got? That was Nova Flak. Come on, Nova Flak. And Smart Goals. We're out of power. Let me just regen. Smart Goals. Sound. So strong. Cool effect. Switch on to the Nova Flak. Slower, but boy, it's powerful. There we go. I'm just mindful of the time, so we're going to switch through the Omniflare, Tangle Coil. Let's just bring that one in. We'll do that as a secondary as well, which is, yeah, Tangle Coil. Let's get the Tangle Coil. Run out of energy again. We have got some questions just while I'm redoing that. I'm Shadar over on YouTube. I finished the main game before the first DLC and haven't played since. Should I continue from where I left off or start a new campaign for best experience with new quests? That is very much a personal choice. If you were to start playing Titans, which is our current DLC release, then you are able to just carry on your gameplay. You'll get given the missions and you'll be able to dive in at your appropriate level. You don't need to go back to the start or an earlier level. Certainly the start of Titans is around level 15 to 17, depending upon how far you've actually gone through the game. So don't worry, it's entirely up to you. Some people are going to start a complete fresh game playthrough with Wrath of the Ancients and Titans installed. That is a personal choice again, but you don't need to, because you will be given access to the relevant quests at your level. You're not going to be blitzing through things. Everything will kind of scale to your level. So that is entirely up to you.
Finally given up, have you? Hello, clone?
I've really? I was talking to the people. But this is a Tangle Coil. That's accurate. I like that. I like that. I like that. Right, we've got the Faith Strike missiles. I'm trying to get through everything on here. Faith Strike missile. So missiles ultimately home in on the closest target in the field of vision. So if you've got something very, very close, oh yeah. Nice. Nice. So that will literally, almost like a fire and forget, it will home in exactly for you. I know Bearded Frog Hive was calling me out. It's like, hey, you can't talk to the people. You got to focus on me. Hang on. There is something over it. There is something there. Prime Skirmisher. Do you know what we're going to do? Is I want to see Omniflare. Let's go pay him a visit, shall we? Just so I can show you the Omniflare in action. I know we showed it last week, but some people won't have seen it, and I know you're probably interested in it. So there we go. Okay, there we go. Let's fire it up. Home in. Boom. What about you? Next. Boom. That is such a cool Omniflare. I love it. I love it. I really love what everybody's bringing to the game. And I hope you enjoy it too. Next, we've got the Parable Rockets. Increased damage by 2% per missing ammo. Now, somebody did ask this question regarding the bomber. Now, it says obviously per 2% missing ammo because I've got 220 because I'm not in a bomber. I'm in the Wraith. As you take that down, the 220 is obviously divided by 100 for the percentage. So as that reduces by 2%, then your damage will increase. In regards to the bomber, that then is taken from your energy pool. So 100% of your energy pool that you have on the bomber, that is divided into 100. So for every 2%, then the damage will increase. Obviously, once the energy drops out, then you need to regen that energy, but then it's for every percentage missing. So you may want to fire, and get down low, and then as it starts to creep up, fire, because you'll keep the damage. So do be mindful of that. Handy. Very, very nice. There we go. Right. Warden's Embrace. I'm going to plunk that in. It's a new mine launcher. This is one of the legendaries. Nice. So how does this work, actually? Let's just talk this through. Deploys a shield wall with a 100-meter radius that blocks enemy fire but allows your shots to pass through. The shield will move forward, depending upon the charge duration, and damage all enemies who pass through it, each increasing the damage by 10%. It's going to be a big square that you're going to see on the screen. If you get that in the middle of a group as it flies through, boom, a lot of damage. Possibly situational, but depending upon how you fly, this is going to do a significant amount of damage. So I'm charging it up with the right mouse button. There we go. So that deploys, and that is going to give you a shield. You are going to be able to fire through it, but it's going to do damage on what it hits. How smooth is the game on Linux? Planning to leave Windows behind and move to a potentially better ecosystem. Smaragdwolf, I think is one of those questions that would be best answered if you were to try a Linux system with the demo, or if you have the obviously the game, then you could dive straight in and test it on there. It's very difficult for me to answer because I don't deal with the technical side as to how well things run on Linux, but certainly definitely do check it out on a Linux system. If there's anybody who's a Linux user in the chat, please do let us know. We could certainly hear your opinion on it. That's that done. True Shepherd, not the Warden Shepherd, True Shepherd. Allies deal increased damage, 30% increased damage whenever one of them destroys an enemy. You gain 3 stacks of Shepherd's Resolve for 6 seconds, making your next 3 critical hits restore your whole armor and shield for 50% of the damage. That's quite nice. I certainly think this is going to be some Vindicator users that are going to be thinking, nice. Very, very nice. Let's plunk that there. So that's them. Destabilizer mines, a new one that's coming as well. Let's plunk that in. So that will destabilize anything that it hits. I think you know how that works. I haven't got any enemies to show you, but it's going to be nice if you are destabilizer aficionado. Let's have a look down here. Right. One of the biggest changes, and I'm going to talk about this because it is one of the biggest changes that we're going to have to the game. As you are leveling, you generally get these nice bits of equipment that drop. Now, we've always had in place a limitation for you when you increase a level of an item. So if you have an item, you can always bring it up 2 levels. Now, you can see if I click there, I'm a level 20. I'm level 21, but I can upgrade it to 21 if I want to. But it is going to cost me resources. They're listed here. I'm just going to remove myself as well, so I'm not in the way. There we go. So you can see that because this is a Starforge, it's going to cost me some star charged conduits, power couplings, quantum processor, circuitry, spare parts. There we go. It's now level 21. Okay, we know that. We can do it another time. There we go. It's level 22. Hang on. It says I can do level 23. What's that all about? Yes. We have removed that restriction. So star charge conduits do increase. Do notice at the bottom here that we have, for each improvement, the cost does increase. So if you have a lot of resources, you might be okay, but just remind yourself that, you know, as you are leveling, you might not have all those resources. So just be aware of that. So you can keep modifying, increasing the level all the way along, all the way up to level 30 if you wish. Now, level 30 is remaining the cap. Okay, some people have asked, are we going to be improving or increasing rather the level cap up to maybe 35 or something like that? The answer to that is no. The reason for that is we didn't want to obliterate everybody's gearing. A lot of you players have spent time, a significant amount of time, grinding for Talha. Yeah, sorry, we've already fawned at that the last stream. I know it's a big change, and I did want to just highlight it because not everybody was here the last week, and some people are going to be diving in with all the news around EVERSPACE too. So it's a real cool feature change that I wanted to highlight. We didn't want the level, an increase of level to completely obliterate people's gear. We've got to be very, very mindful of your time, and that we absolutely do respect that. So if you've grinded out some Starforged gear, superior Starforged gear, and then all of a sudden it becomes obsolete, you'd be like, well, I've either got to upgrade it to my level or I've got to get to new gear. And if you don't have the resources, that could be a bit of a bind. So we've kept the level cap at 30. We've kind of just got new pathways that you can get to level 30, which is always increasing the fun. We do like to increase the breadth, not obviously just the length of the game, but now we've got more options in your pathway to get to level cap, which I think is always a really cool thing. So that's that. We've got a couple of new devices as well that are coming your way. Let me just have a look. See, okay. I'm not going to show you these because I want you to enjoy these yourself. But we have a tactical artillery beam, which is very, very nice. I do like playing with this. I do. You're going to love that once you get your hands on it. And same with the entropy anchor. This one is very special. Just We did cover it again last week. We're just going over a lot of the ground. But after 10 seconds, your ship's hit points, energy, ult devices, consumables, and ammo will reset to the state when the device was activated. Your inventory remains locked while the device is active. So if you're about to go into a fight with something big, dangerous, you could set this off, go absolute ham with your secondaries, your devices, your consumables, literally empty your ammo racks, whatever it is, and then after 10 seconds, you're back to the state that you started in. How cool is that? Be mindful, though, you are still vulnerable. It is not a way to all of a sudden just become, you know, invincible or anything like that, but you will reset so that then you can go ham again because you've got all your ammo back. I think that's going to be a significant game changer for a lot of people. A lot of people. I really, really do. So do look out for these. You will find them, obviously. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Let's just see whatever we got. Well, let's just switch back. So, purple items. Oh, yes. Ascendancy. What's Ascendancy? Well, it is our new tier of weapons. So it's our new kind of player power progression, which we've introduced just so that you can have something to look forward to and something to build towards if you wish. There is no reason that you need to, but there is a slight increase in power for actually using them. Wizard Jerry, Anchor is super crazy. It does on paper, and I think people are going to find some very, very interesting ways to use it. Smaragd Wolf, yeah, the question from last week, the artillery laser with a 60% chance to reset. Yeah, if I just go back to that, I'll just show you that. If we look at the shift preview. Propagation, so it has a 60% chance to reset the duration and jump to another nearby target when the current target is destroyed. Now, you only have a 60% chance, so that is not a guaranteed chance. It is a 60% chance to reset the duration and jump to another nearby target when the current target is destroyed. So it is only a chance. You will find that, you know, it's good when it happens, and it probably get you out of a specific sticky moment if it does. Razgiz over on YouTube. Does it make sense story-wise to complete the base game before doing the DLC, or can we start the DLC at a certain level point in the story? Good question. You will, if you have Wrath of the Ancients, and you must have Wrath of the Ancients to play the expansion, obviously. Same as Titans. If you have that expansion, around, we think, on an average playthrough, around the levels 18 to 20, you will start to be given access to the side missions. Okay, so the side missions of Wrath of the Ancients. So some of the Okkar worlds will start opening up. You don't have to be at end game for that to happen. However, for the main missions, the main storyline of Wrath of the Ancients, you must have completed the main story. Okay, so you must have finished the campaign. Whatever level you get to, by doing that, you could be 26, whatever. As long as you get there, you will need to have completed the story to access the new main storylines. Okay, there we go. Right, I'm going to try and whiz through as many of these things as possible, but in terms of the new levels, we've got a new Ascendancy item, which is a little bit of a power creep over what it was before. Now, the reason, or the way that you do that is at an altar, which will become available to you. I'm just going to go travel over to the altar. I can't show you exactly how this happens, because that's spoiler territory. And we want, as always, for you to enjoy stuff. So anyway, you'll find one of these ancient altars. You will come along. You will go tickly, tickly, tickly. Let's activate it. And now you will get the option to ascend an item. Okay, now to do this, you must have a superior or already ascendant item. So what you do is you select an item. A reminder, it cannot be equipped on your ship at the time, so if you're using your favorite weapon, you need to take it out if you want to ascend it. So for example, we've got a rapid gauze cannon, which is a Starforged. I've got a superior Starforged, I've got a prototype, and I've got a superior prototype. I've got a variety of options here. It can be anything that is superior or an ascendant. Now we've got rapid gauss cannon there. I'm going to choose that. Now we're going to use these Eshahar fragments, which are going to get dropped from Okkar enemies and various other places as you fight them. Now there is a requirement, excuse me, to increase the power. So for rank 1, it will cost you 1 Eshahar fragment, and then you will need to deal with ancient swarmers in the vicinity. It doesn't even say that at the top. That is how you're going to deal with it. But how difficult that is entirely to you. If you wish to, and I'll just show you the preview, that is from going from the original item, which was a standard superior item, to a Ascendant. There is a significant power creep there. Okay, you can see that's quite a jump, a good, good 10% ish, and you'll get a rank Ascendant 1. If you were to take this all the way up to rank 8 in one go, expect a lot of pain to come your way, is how I will say it. You can see that the enemy damage, the enemy hit points are significantly higher, and the lunacy of that is about 1600. But when we look at the item, that's jumped quite a lot. You will also notice that the rank of the item is now at rank 8 of 8. That is the highest rank. But with a normal rank 1 to 7 item of an Ascendant class, you have 3 attributes. On rank 8, you are given another. So if I change that to 7, you will see that there is only 3. When I change it to rank 8, you will be given 4. What you are given is different. So that is the basic way how you will ascend an item. Will you find Ascendant items in the wild? Yes, you will. Will you be able to upgrade any weapon? No, you can't. It has to be a superior or Ascendant item. But again, I'm not going to show you how that happens because I don't want to spoil it, and I want to see what you boys and girls come up with in your journeys. Now, the other thing that you can do with Ascendant items, how about some new catalysts? Yes, we've got some Okkar catalysts, so I'm going to modify. Let's have a look at install catalysts. In fact, to tell you what I will show you is our new catalyst list. You're going to be dropping these on your travels through Okkar space. HRAs are going to be good for them as well, so you're going to find new blueprints. They are all positive and negative. So they're good and they are bad, and how they fit into your build is going to be entirely up to you. To craft them, specifically, you're going to need these new items, so you're going to need to pick up those. So don't expect straight away to grab them and just go, I've got these. To craft them, you are going to need certain new items, so you're going to be able to look out for those. So blueprint catalyst pitting shot is one. Then we've got the safety delimiter. I'm not going to read them out, but you can see that there is a variety of positives and negatives to each of them. Alpha strike, dual detonator, reserve power, ambient collector, priority circuit, continuous current, PCM heatsink, positron injector, resonant integrity field, nano weave, chaotic targeting, diffuse emissive grid, scavenger protocol, and reinforced frame. Now, they cannot all be attached to every weapon, etc. You would obviously need an Ascendant item. Let me just see this autonomous set here is one that we're going to use. I'm just going to modify it. We're going to install a catalyst. Now you can see that because it is a sensor, I can only have chaotic targeting and diffuse emissive grid. So you can't just slap anything on it. It has to be the specific ones that relate to the type of module or item that you are using. Now, I'm just going to choose diffusive emissive grid just because it's the hardest to say. We're going to craft it and install. I'm going to click OK. We're just going to have a look at that now. So, it is part of the set. But if you notice as well, another big change. It has the Okkar catalyst on, but it still retains the autonomous set. But it also now has an ascendancy set bonus. So as you build through, you will get more power. So you'll keep the set items. We always said set items were probably some of the strongest things in the game. They're now going to be that little bit more stronger if you can put an Okkar catalyst on there. So the ascendancy set, your hull is repaired for 50% of the shield damage you take. Gain 2 permanent Okkar combat drones. And then for Forcer is every 20 seconds, fire 3 charge orbs at a random enemy within 1,000 meters, dealing 20% of your armor and shield capacity as kinetic and energy damage, respectively. Very nice. Very nice. I think you're going to love it. I think you're going to love it. Right. I will just very, very briefly switch a room. Another save that I've just got to show you. I am going to go over time again. Isn't that a surprise? Who would have thought we'd go over time? Oh, dear. I love it. I love it. We always go over time. When do we ever finish on time? Lee, if you're okay, we shall carry on, because I haven't even shown something that I said I was going to show. Right, here we are. So, this power progression, this improvement, where does it all lead? And I think you all know because we did mention it last week. So now, if you complete a level 2000 Lunacy, not a level Lunacy, 2000 Lunacy Rift, and if you do, you're a better pilot than me, then you can now activate, as it says there, Nightmare Rifts. And that is going to take you up to, and if you should wish, up to 4,000 Lunacy. Now, there is a significant increase in loot quality. There is a significant increase in enemy damage, and there is a significant increase in enemy hit points. You are also going to be dealing with higher level enemies, and by that, elites. You're going to be dealing with some more. So do be careful with these. Bearded Frog's like, I want over 9,000 Lunacy. I love it. I love how people always say it. Flory is asking a question over on Twitch. Do I need Wrath of the Ancients for the purple gear? Yes, because it is kind of tied to the Okkar world. If I remember correctly, I could have got this wrong. It's been a busy week and I am tired. I do apologize if I do get that wrong, but I believe you do need Wrath of the Ancients for it. Ragriz is asking, is the corporeal damage absorption limited to Ancients or can it be applied to other enemies as a buff in the HRA? You'll have to wait and see. But I believe it is only tied to the Ancients because it is part of their physicality, for example. So as far as I'm aware. Now, this is going to be tough. Obviously, with some tweaks and changes to a variety of things. I know some of you are obviously, the hollow plating is a drastic change for you. So it may not be that you can just sit there and go, hey, I've completed 4,000 and not done anything. You are going to have to bring your A+++ game to get through these. And if you do, fair play to you because you're a very, very good pilot. I've just seen a follow-up question there. Actually, I can do purple rifts without the DLC. That's a very good question. I will follow up with you, Flory, because I may have got that wrong, but I'll definitely check. Just so I get it the right way, and I will put information up for you on the Discord and reach out to you that way. But yeah, I want to make sure I get that right. I'm certain, but now I'm doubting myself. Again, a lot of information, but I'll double check with you. So anyway, I'm just going to get rid of that because the one thing I said that we would actually show, and I haven't shown it yet, is one of the side missions. So again, this is going into spoiler territory. If you do not want to see anything, you do want to be, kind of shown anything that's coming with Wrath of the Ancients next week. This is one of the little side missions that we do have, and I want to just go through it. Let me just get it there. Yep. And let's just get that loaded up. So yes, slightly spoiler territory here. We may not go all the way through it because I've still got a lot of things to talk about. Right. Let's bring it back in.
So you finally found me.
Who is this? Hello? Huh. Weird.
Oh, weird. So you finally found me. An outlaw sniper drone. Let's get a little bit closer. He's pulling away. That's not good. There we go. Whoa, more sniper drones. Ooh, hello. And a teleporter drone. Not liking you. You can go away. Oops. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump to you. Smash you in your face. Thank you. And he's gone. Nice! Oh, hello, one's still there. Again, I don't think I'm going to show you everything. Because we've still got a lot to talk about. Okay, data log. Let's have a look. They assigned me to a group of expert newbies. A junior geologist, a PhD candidate for military history and an AI handler who doesn't have much of anything to qualify for the job. It's a disposable team tasked with scouting the Beltagrid to gather as much intel as they can. The corporations want to know the area's worth before making any noteworthy investment. So far, I managed to successfully steer them away from any valuable finds. They think I'm here to protect them. But it's really this patch of space I am protecting. Cluster 34 is beautiful and so peaceful. If the suits decide to roll in, they will just build another colony, another graft town. I can't let that happen.
Snipers are annoying, aren't they? I lost quite a few friends to snipers.
What are you talking about? Are these your drones? Come on, talk to me. Looks like I've got company.
Definitely. Looks like we've got company. Whoa. Steady. That's not very nice. Ooh. Snaky. Any more? We had an encounter with an alien pilot, some kind of lizard species. My drone shot him down before he could get close. I hoped to leave it at that, but Horitz insisted on us scavenging the wreck. Turns out the alien had an extremely powerful energy weapon equipped, enabled by some kind of crystal. I'm certain that the others already sent their report to the manager in Grafttown. Having to deal with an unknown enemy is one thing, but now the fleet has an incentive to come here in full force and mine for the crystals. This will get brutal.
I should have turned off their blinking. It makes spotting the detonator drones too easy. This place is a paradise. I won't let warmongers like you define it.
Seriously, can we please just talk about this for a second?
He's an interesting character. And who is he? And why is he here? I do like this side mission. And again, it is a side mission. It's not one of the main missions. It is one of the side missions that delves a little bit into some of the lore of the player. Or of this person. Well, we'll go here. There we go. Let's go. Bulletproof container. Thank you very much. We'll have that. We'll have that. Let's open that. Oh, another logbook. Members of the first Belgrade survey group: Lucia Horowitz, military advisor; Pico Plant, space geologist; Herbita Ku, AI assistant; and Francesco Wong, security operative. The mission is highly confidential. All members report exclusively and directly to Goran Pile in Damaris City on Byron 4. So we're definitely delving into some background. It seems like it's from a while ago. We'll have to see. Talahar has asked, has Gary used his ultimate this stream? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I know I did. At some point. I know I did. People are going to be furiously going. Maybe Flory. I am going to stop there because I don't want to give anything else away about this, because I do like it. I do like this side mission, and I hope you do as well. So I'm just going to quickly go through everything that I've still got to wrap up with, because we're getting past the time, as we always do. Value for money. So, folks, remember, come Monday, we are going to be launching Wrath of the Ancients, our new and last expansion for EVERSPACE 2. It's going to be heading your way on Monday. Now, specifically, if you want to know the time that we are aiming for, I'm going to reveal that to you now, just because we've got them locked in. This is the expected time, but as with all things game development, things can change, things can tweak, things can alter, but we will communicate any changes if they should happen. So, May the 12th, it will be 10 a.m. PST, 1 p.m. EST, 6 p.m. BST, 7 p.m. Central European Standard Time, and for anybody further afield, it'll be on May the 13th, which will be 12 a.m. CST and 3 a.m. JST. So, just a reminder, 10 a.m. PST, 1 p.m. EST, 6 p.m. BST, 7 p.m. CST, and then if you're further afield, it'll be 12 a.m. CST or 3 a.m. JST. So that is the time that you need to be ready. If you are like me in Europe, I'm in the UK, then from 6 p.m., that is when you're going to be hammering that button to start the download. Okay? So, yeah, Wizard Jerry, that is correct. 6 p.m. BST, because here in the UK we are on British summertime currently. So, yeah, 6 p.m. If you're in Germany, like the team, over in Hamburg, it will be 7 p.m. Bearded Frog, what time in moon time? I'll have to contact the International Space Station, the ISS, and have a word with them and see what time it is there. So if you are diving in on that day, be ready. It could be in the morning, could be in the afternoon, could be the evening, for wherever you are, but get downloading and get playing. A reminder, if you haven't already, the price has been reduced. So if you can put in a pre-order, then you're more than welcome. On some of the platforms, you're able to do that. But currently, the price is going to be $24.99 in dollars, $24.99 in euros, $19.99 in English pounds, and $29.70 in I've forgotten the other currency, yuan, I think it is. So all the platforms are there, and a nice cheap reduction for you. As I've said, I know it's good. We've announced that it's going to be the last DLC for the game. We are still going to be looking at fixing bugs, hot fixes as necessary. But yeah, when we want to talk about anything new in the future, then we will pick an appropriate time. But for the time being, we're still concentrated on Wrath of the Ancients and EverSpace 2. Just bear with me. I just need to just press that. Just scrolly on my notes. If you haven't already, do please think about leaving us a review or wishlisting the game over on Steam. It does benefit us greatly. The power of reviews, the power of talking to your friends about everything is so powerful, and we're so thankful of it. If you can do that for us, we really hope you can. IGN store, which has some of our merch in terms of t-shirts. You saw me last week wearing the Bob t-shirt. That they now do dispatch from a European location, so the cost of packaging and delivery is significantly less. Obviously, previously it was only to the mainland US, whereas now they will dispatch to Europe. So if you're in the UK or if you're in the mainland EU, then you can now get a wonderful bit of merch. So do go check it out over on the IGN store. Currently, sale-wise, we've got an Xbox Spring Sale on, which gives you 30% off Titans, Nice little bonus there if you want to dive in. And also encounters for EVERSPACE 1. If you've never played that, that is also 70% off over on Xbox. So do dive in there. As we come up to the launch of Wrath of the Ancients, I just want to say a big thank you to the whole team here at Rockfish Games. We've been on an amazing journey with this game, and personally I love playing it. I've enjoyed it immensely, even when I was just a backer, streamer, and now I get to work for the company. I do thoroughly enjoy it. It's crafted with so much love and dedication you wouldn't believe. The devs put their heart and soul into this, and it's obvious to see with how it looks, how it plays, and hopefully how we react to what you, the players, do tell us about the game. And honestly, you guys sticking with us, allowing us to live out our dreams, to be able to craft games like this, is just priceless. And from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you immensely, because we wouldn't be able to do it without you. And hopefully you'll dive into Wrath of the Ancients. You'll enjoy it immensely. You'll tell us what you like. I'm sure you tell us what you didn't like. People love to do that. We are still listening. We are still working hard. And we're going to be, cracking on with new things, which we'll talk about in the future. But Monday, set your timers, 10 a.m, 1 p.m, 6 p.m, 7 p.m, whichever your time zone is. We'll put some notes up on the Discord so that you can have that as a reminder. But I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to enjoy the weekend. I hope you do too. And we will see you on Monday. It's going to be a very busy day. I hope you can join us then. But in the meantime, folks, I'm Gary, your community manager. I love doing this job, and I hope you enjoy Wrath of the Ancients. We'll see you on Monday. Take care, folks. Be good. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Hello? Hello out there? Can anyone hear me?
Mayday.
All hell broke
We
loose.
threw everything at them, but they just...
What's your situation? Said it was a hostile contact.
Is there anyone who can assist?
Citizens of the Beltigrades, human settlements face attack by unknown forces.
This is the tip of the iceberg.
Someone needs to get to the bottom of it.
You may travel with us and access our secret places. This universe is merely their dream. One day, all this will disappear when they're waking.
A human? Helping us?
No more. I won't let anyone start another war.
Your tongues may mislead us, but perhaps you mislead yourselves.
Lift up to the light the grains of sand that formed you.
May the peace of the ancients be upon us all, at last.
Get to an escape pod! The portal is closing.
Brethren, flee while you may.
My God. A terrible miracle.
Just a reminder as well, before I go, I know some of you already left, there will be a stream next week. I forgot to mention it. So Friday the 16th, we're going to have a stream next week. I want to see what all you boys and girls are talking about, been playing, how you've enjoyed it, and everything else. So next Friday, we will have a stream. So I just thought I'd throw that in there. See you soon.